Now, that child inside us, so this energy of incompleteness that child already carries inside. So this is what Christianity means by born with the original sin, right? This energy inside that I'm incomplete. And then as we go through hurtful events in our child, so it could be we pick something up, and then we touch. We went near the kitchen stove and we want to touch the kitchen stove. So curious like the baby. And then our parents come and then scold us, and then you want to touch hot, burn your hand. What happens is suddenly there is fear. Suddenly there is a bad person, a bad baby, if you go and touch the stove. Suddenly there's punishment. And so what happens is it hits onto this, why am I being scolded? And I'm scolded because I'm incomplete over here. So I'm incomplete, I'm being scolded. And then it must be because I'm naughty. I'm a bad child. I go and touch things that I'm not supposed to touch, and so therefore I'm a bad child. So what happens is there's an emotion that gets attached to this feeling of incompleteness. So it could be an emotion of fear. The image that comes in, the image will be maybe the face of the angry father. And then the belief that then comes in for the child, if I don't follow what my father does, then I'm a bad child. And then the behavior that then, we don't, okay, I should behave to be in this way so that I don't get punished. Every time we as a child feel hurt, feel scolded, feel a negative interaction with those around us, we acquire a memory of that event, and that event gets attached, the memory of that event gets attached to the archetype, this energy of incompleteness. And then a story is born around the archetype. I am incomplete because, all these events that took place in our life. I am incomplete because my skin is too dark. People laugh at me. People say fair skin, very beautiful, dark skin, very ugly, And so therefore, I am incomplete because I'm dark skinned and ugly. I'm unlovable. And then we've got all the stories attached to this belief, all the memories attached to this belief. The symbols are important. A lot of times when I do therapy with my clients, so they tell me long story about the problem. At the end of, when I take a history, I will ask, summarize the problem that you told me today, summarize the entire problem that you told me into a picture. If you were to paint your problem into a picture, what would that picture look like? So I got one who came to me, the problem is anger management. I'm always angry and then always cannot control the anger and then become this mad, incredible Hulk. Scream at the partner in public. And then, whole people can see it's an embarrassment. And then she says, I embarrass myself. I know that, if ever I have got any problems with my partner and things like that, I should not, be overboard. But then I cannot control myself. Suddenly this thing takes over and I just scream and then. So I asked her to paint a picture for me, and she paints this picture. She says, I'm in a tunnel. It is very dark. It is just a straight tunnel, back and front. And I'm walking alone in this tunnel. And at the back, I cannot turn back. Turning back, going back, the tunnel is not an option. I have to continue moving forward. And I said, move forward. I find that the tunnel never ends. I'm just continuing, and there's no light at the end of the tunnel. So it summarizes that it's actually an artistic concept of the entire problem here. And when I asked deeper about childhood and things like that, and what's happened is that as a child, she felt rejected by her mother. The mother was always disapproving of her, always comparing her to the elder sister, and then how she never cannot be like the elder sister. And then, so there is this, you know, you're the black sheep. You're the black sheep, the child that is the black sheep. And what has happened is the anger towards the mother developed. So the mother always get angry at her, always scold her, and then she developed this coping strategy to get angry back and to fight back the mother. And so beneath that anger, so she explored always in anger, explode always in anger, explode always in anger. And that's because that's a protection, because otherwise there's a threatening that, you know, you're not good enough, criticism of you being not good enough and being rejected. So there, anytime when she feels not good enough, she feels rejected, the anger is there to help to cope. So I asked her, take away the anger. What is left behind? Because she is a very strong person. When she comes, she talks to me. There's this person that is very strong, very the fighter, the warrior. So I asked her, you know, take away this warrior, the one who's angry, and what's left? And she starts crying. You know, it's the child that is rejected by the mother. And that is painted in that symbol. This is the child that is in the tunnel. The back of the tunnel is not this one. The mother is still continue to reject, so cannot go back there. Have to move forward. I'm trying to find a place where I can belong, but everywhere I go also is all darkness. There's no way out. So the archetype of incompleteness, of separation, that has an image about the self, has an image about the whole problem. This is what I mean by the symbol. It carries a symbol. So a lot of times when I do therapy, I will elicit what is this symbol, and then as we do the therapy, we will infuse energy into that symbol so that the negative symbol now becomes more positive. So my therapy is not just about working on the behavior, on the belief, but also to work on the symbol.
Subconscious mind.
So this archetype and the symbol, emotion, belief, the beliefs and the behavior, this whole thing now becomes the personality. At the core of each of our personality is the archetype that drives it. All right?